And what am I going to talk to you about? I'm going to talk to you about free and open source software. I saw literally just 3 hands going up. There are 2 more people sitting out here who refuse to raise their hands. But I will catch them at some point in time. But I'm going to start by defining what is free software. Interestingly enough, the English language is very limited. Although are you going to run away?
It's really interesting, but then I have some other commitment.
Oh, that's terrible.
So I'm really sorry.
I sat through your talk. This is not fair.
I know that.
I even enjoyed it.
Even I was enjoying, but I couldn't.
Okay.
Because I have to go at 1 o'clock.
Okay. We'll forgive you.
Yeah. Someday
we'll catch you.
We will become that.
Captive audience. Okay.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, dear. Okay, so as I was saying, free software, the English language does not even have the right words for it. But in Hindi or Urdu or maybe Bangla, we have the right words for it. The first word for it that everybody understands is muft. What is muft? Muft means it does not cost us money. But is that what free software is about? There is another part to the word free which does not come out or does not get communicated when you use the English language. And that is the word mukt. Free software is about freedom. It is about the freedom to do anything that you wish with that software. And unless you can do what you want with the piece of software that you're using, that your life depends upon, your project depends upon, you're in trouble. To illustrate this point, what I'm going to do, it's almost lunchtime, right? So I'm going to talk about food. This is going to drive you crazy because I know all of you have been sitting here since the morning and you haven't had a chance to step out, and I'm going to talk to you about food. Okay, now for which I need a volunteer. How many of you out here cook? Raise your hands. Okay. Now the 2 of you in the front row don't count. You, what do you cook?
Chapatis.
Chapatis. Anything else?
Tea.
Nah, you don't know. Who makes specialities? What do you cook?
Maggie.
Go away. Okay, who else? No, I don't want one of the girls. I know they all cook well. I want one of the guys. Come on. Somebody?
Good cook well. Top ramen.
Okay. Come. Or when it's still here, you take the collar mic. Or the other mic. You can sit wherever you want. Or you can stand wherever you want. Okay, what is your name?
Gaurav Kunar.
Works better if you switch it on.
Gaurav Kunar.
Gaurav. Okay, Gaurav. What we're going to do is we're going to walk through a little bit of an experiment. I hate top ramen noodles. Okay, but we're going to see if we can do something to make them a little more useful, make them a little more edible. So let's see how do you cook your noodles? Can you give me the process? I want step by step, in detail, do not miss a single step.
Okay.
I'm ruthless.
I guess I first put the oil and stuff.
Oil?
Yes.
Okay.
I love it. In the pan. I then put some.
What kind of oil is this?
Normal cooking oil.
Which in Calcutta would mean, Kolkata would mean mustard oil.
No, it's not mustard. It's the vegetable oil, I guess.
Vegetable oils. Okay, great.
Then I put in some onions and some chilies.
Okay.
And I just make them a bit, fry them a bit.
Okay.
And then
Is it brown? Golden brown?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay.
Normal golden brown. Then I generally
Throw in a.
Yeah, I generally throw in an egg.
Okay.
And when it
Throw it in, like,
sort of
with the shell? Or?
Nee, without the shell, and I throw it in.
Okay, wonderful.
And then when it's all done, I just take them out. Then I put in some more oil.
Okay.
And this time I put in a bit of water, top ramen. And when it's basically sort of cooked, I put in the onions and things back.
Okay.
And it's then just sort of eatable.
Edible. Okay, wonderful. Okay, let me take a few of the processes that you followed and make a couple of minor modifications to it. The only form in which I like instant noodles is if they're made into a soup. I love soups. Soups are good for the soul, you know. There's even books about it. What if I took the noodles that you made, added a little bit of extra water, made it into a nice thick gravy, and then served it out. Good little modification. Okay. Enough food. Let's get back on topic here. Do you realize that software is nothing but the same as cooking? Software has cookbooks. So if you go out and you look in a computer bookstore, you will find Network Computing Cookbook. What is a network cookbook? How do you cook up networks? You will find solutions on the internet which are called recipes. So if I take a set of scripts which solve a problem for me, they are called recipes. So cooking and software are not very far from each other. The other thing which is very, very important, which is why I asked Gaurav to go step by step. What does computer software do? It is a set of instructions which are executed sequentially, one at a time. Do this, do this, do this, go here, come back here, do the next thing. That is how software works. That is how cooking works. Now imagine, what we did to Gaurav's recipe was, I modified it. Can you modify the software that you are using? Can you take, I don't know what you use, but let's say, can you take a word processor that you use and say, make changes to it? Can you translate it into another language? Can you translate it into Bangla? Can you make your entire computer experience or computing experience a little closer to the way you would like to think and work? You can't. Because you use proprietary software. If, however, you were using free and open source software, then all of this is possible. Okay, here we have, the penguins trying to jump a little icebergs, jumping between icebergs. What is this jump? This jump is what I call resistance to change. People do not want to change the way they work. I have been using a free software-based desktop for the last 17 years. 17 years. I have not used Windows for 17 years.